Shalom to all Israelites and all the Garin, the foreigners in Israel and all the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to Kulam Israelitim and the Ragerim, Geluim Lev, be Arbot Kamfot Shel Hairet Zot Ra Devarim Shel Torah, Yani Raiti Rutsi, Lisharet Ichikaver Robish Baha, Ra Inyani Shel Torah Hukim Vemishpatim. Assaf Benami, Crispin, Levi, Asher Medaber, Ichiken. Well, I would like to talk with you about the importance of the Torah. And I want to greet all the Israelites in Israel, in the Middle East, and all over the roads, the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the roads. And my objective, my aim is to preach the Torah, not religion, just the Torah, because I believe that the Torah is our life, and each prop us to return to our land, our promised land in Israel. Well, we're going to speak about the Constitution of Eternal Kingdom, the Torah, and you can check in your Bible, in your scriptures, all the verses that I have cited here. And we stopped in the item 204, and now we're going to item 205. Those who sin must be corrected. And I call you to follow with me this item in the scriptures, okay? In Vaikra, Leviticus, Vaikra, Leviticus. Chapter 19, verses 17 and 8. 17 and 8. Do not hate your brother in your heart. Reprove your neighbor for certain, and bear no sin because of him. Do not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the children of your people, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahweh. Well, we can see here that you can't see our brothers sinning against the Eternal One and to be quiet. It's a commandment of the Torah. We must correct him with love, and to get these people in love, and so he can understand the commandments of the Torah, not with violence, not with fury, with grudge, like it's written in the Torah, because the teacher must be patient with his student, his pupils. You understand, do you? Well, and those who sin must be corrected, and by the opposite, you can leave the person without correction. You can cover his sin or her sins. And because the Torah is yes, yes, no, no. And we can't agree with the person that is sinning. We must correct him or her with love and to show him that he is wrong. And if you correct him with love, certainly he is going to understand you and to love you. Because Shlomo ben David, and he says, correct the just, and he will be more just. And but we must be careful, because you can give our prayers to the dogs. And let's see this item 205 in the oral law. The oral law, called the Torah Halpi, because the Eternal One blew the mitzvot in men's ears or women's ears in that time. In Abraham's time, Job's time, Enoch's time, Noah's time. And it's different from us, because we have the commandments written in front of us in the books, in the manuscripts. Well, item 205. Bereshit, Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 19, verses 4 to 8. Bereshit. Bereshit. Bereshit 19, verse 4 to 8. Let's read. Before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every part, surrounded the house. And they called to Lot and said to him, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, and let us know them. So Lot went out to them through the doorway and shut the door behind him and said, please, my brothers, do not do evil. Look, please, I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Please, let me bring them out to you, and do to them as you wish, only do no deed to this man. Well, we can see that the Lord rebuked those Sodomites when they wanted to make sexual relations with the 2 messengers, the 2 Malachim. And Lot closed his door, the door of his house, and rebuked them. You can't do that because it's sin against the Torah, against the Yahweh. And Lot just fulfilled this item 205. Those who sin must be corrected. Those who sin must be corrected. We can't to be participants of the sinners, and you must rebuke them, because it's our duty. The Eternal One called us to do that, to preach the Torah. And because that we're going to be persecuted, we'll be despised. And it's very important to notice that. Then law just fulfilled the Torah, and he rebuked that Sodomites, that's those sinners. Well, let's see this item in Yeshua's time. Item 205. 205. Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, and Corinthians Beth, chapter 2, verse 5 to 7. Let's go there. Corinthians 7, Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 5 to 7. 2 Corinthians, or Corinthians Beth, or 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 5 to 7. But if anyone has caused sadness, he has not made me sad, but in some degree, you all, not to be too harsh. For such a one, this punishment by the many is sufficient. So that, on the contrary, you should rather forgive and comfort, lest somehow such a one be swallowed up with too much sadness. So I appeal to you to confirm your love to him. Well, you can see that this man has sinned and against the Torah in Shaul's times, and he asked the man to rebuke him, but with love, certainly, not with arrogance, not with violence, but with love, because the Eternal One is love. Okay, well, let's go to item 206. Love your neighbor, whether a brother or enemy, as yourself. Vaikra 19, 18. Vaikra, Leviticus 19, chapter 19, and verse 18. Do not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the children of your people, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahweh. Okay, well, we must love our brothers. We must love our neighbor. And you must love until our enemies, like Yeshua said. Because this is our great victory of yours. And like it's written, do not hate your brother. And I see, especially in the Facebook, in the internet, the people, because the religions, because the tradition religions, because the philosophies, because the religions, they hate the brothers. They hate the person who writes some phrases of sadness, of hate against the brother, against the sister, because the religion, the Eternal One, didn't live religion, nor Judaism, nor Christianism, nor Islamism, nor Spiritism, nor Buddhism, no any religion, just the Torah. He left for us, and I'm going to be judged by the Torah in YouTube. And let's go to the item 206 in the Torah law, Bereshit 43, Bereshit 43. Bereshit 43. Bereshit. Item 206, Bereshit 45, Bereshit 45. Bereshit. Uh, 45, verse 13 to 15. And you shall inform my father of my esteem in Mitzrayim, and all of that you have seen, and you shall hurry and bring my father down here. And he fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept over them. And after that his brother spoke with him. We can see that Yahusef or Joseph didn't hate his brother. And he forgave them. He kissed them. He embraced them. And we must do that as well. And we can't have hate, have a grudge against our brothers. And you can't offend our brothers with the words, because it's the content. It's the revolt. Well, let's see, to finalize, see in the Torah, this item 205 or 206, Matityahu, to love our neighbors and even our enemies. 206, Matityahu 19:19. Matityahu 19:19. Matityahu 19:19. Respect your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And this is the Yahushua's answer to the man that asked him, "Good teacher, what good shall I do to have everlasting life?" And Yahushua said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except one, Elohim. But if you wish to enter into life, guard the commandment, the Torah." He said to him, "Which?" And Yahushua said, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, respect your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." Well, Yahweh Baruch Atav Ramishpahagam Zot Habracha Shel Zaken Assaf, and Shalom Yadi Ra Yom Ramishi Rabba. Shalom, shalom.